Deep within the ancient woodlands of Windsor Great Park, a quiet but extraordinary transformation is taking place. To the casual observer, it looks like a simple fence line, but to security experts, it is the outline of a fortress. A massive 6-mile exclusion zone has been strictly imposed around Forest Lodge, the property designated as the new forever home for the Prince and Princess of Wales. While the headlines often focus on the glamour of the monarchy, this new perimeter tells a much darker story. According to Britain's former top royal security chief, this move has nothing to do with privacy. It has everything to do with survival. Let's look at the scale of this. The restricted zone covers more than 150 acres of land. For generations, parts of this area were open to walkers, dog owners, and locals enjoying the right to roam. Today, that access has been severed. The land is now fenced off, patrolled by armed officers, and legally protected under Section 128 of the Serious Organized Crime and Police Act, 2005. It is crucial to understand what Section 128 actually is. This isn't a local council bylaw about trespassing. This is legislation, typically reserved for high-level government sites, nuclear facilities, and areas under threat of terrorism. By invoking this specific act, the security services are sending a clear, undeniable message. The threat level is high, and the tolerance for risk is zero. Davies, the former head of Scotland Yard's Royal Protection Command, has been vocal about what this means. He dismisses the idea that William and Kate are simply looking for a quiet life away from the paparazzi. In his words, suggesting this is about privacy is so wide of the mark as to be laughable. Davies explains that in the world of high-stakes protection, a 6-mile zone serves one primary function. It buys time. Security for a future king is not about fighting a threat when it's at the front door. It's about detecting it while it's still miles away. Davies describes royal protection using the analogy of an onion. It is built in layers. At the center sits the family: William, Catherine, George, Charlotte, and Louis. Surrounding them is the first layer of close protection officers, the bodyguards we see in photos. Beyond that are the static guards at the property. But the most critical layers are the invisible ones. This new exclusion zone acts as a massive buffer. Every mile of distance increases the reaction time for police. If an intruder or a hostile vehicle breaches that outer 6-mile perimeter, the clock starts ticking. By the time they get anywhere near the residence, armed response units have had minutes, not seconds, to intercept. In a scenario involving an assassination attempt or a kidnapping plot, those few minutes are the difference between life and death. While the specific internal modifications of Forest Lodge are classified state secrets, we can look at standard protocols for a residence of this importance. Davies admits he would be shocked if the home does not contain a citadel, a reinforced safe room designed to withstand a direct military-style assault. These rooms are built with ballistic-proof walls, independent air filtration systems against chemical attacks, and dedicated secure communications lines. But a panic room is a last resort. It is a failure of the outer defenses. The goal of the exclusion zone is to ensure the family never has to use it. This brings us to the question, why now? The royal family has always been guarded, so what has changed to necessitate such drastic measures? The answer lies in a specific and potent combination of status and affiliation. Prince William is no longer just the Queen's grandson, he is the direct heir. His children are the immediate line of succession. That alone places them in the highest risk category globally. But there is a new, sharper edge to the threat profile. Prince William was recently appointed as the patron of the Special Air Service Regimental Association, the SAS. The SAS is one of the most elite and lethal fighting forces in the world, but with that reputation comes deep-seated enmity. The regiment is hated by extremist Republican groups, including splinter factions of the IRA, who still view the British military, and specifically the SAS, as a primary enemy. Davies warns that this patronage is not just a ceremonial title. In the eyes of extremists, it associates William directly with the actions of the Special Forces. It paints a target on his back. The intelligence services are likely picking up chatter, communications between hostile groups, that suggests the prince is being looked at not just as a royal, but as a military symbol. Furthermore, the nature of the threat has evolved. We are no longer looking at organized plots. We are living in the age of the lone wolf, individuals radicalized online, acting without a network, making them incredibly difficult to track. Davies points out that identifying potential attackers is harder than ever. He highlights modern border and migration challenges, noting that police cannot always know exactly who is in the country or what their intentions might be. This creates what he calls the ultimate security nightmare. You are trying to protect a highly visible family from an invisible, unpredictable enemy. This reality has led to some friction. The closure of public land has angered local walkers and residents who feel their right to roam has been snatched away by royal privilege. It's a natural reaction. People see the fences and see a loss of freedom. But the security experts argue that this perspective is naive. Davies is clear. Public inconvenience cannot outweigh the safety of the future king. In the cold calculus of royal protection, priorities are inevitable. If the intelligence suggests a credible threat, whether from terror networks, obsessed stalkers, or political extremists, the police have a duty to lock that land down. Priorities are constantly reviewed. The fact that this zone has been imposed now indicates that the threat environment has worsened. It suggests that the people charged with keeping the heir to the throne alive are genuinely worried. We often look at the royal family and see the palaces, the gold coaches, and the wealth. We rarely think about the cage that comes with it. As the sun sets over Windsor Great Park, the lights of Forest Lodge will flicker on behind those layers of steel and surveillance. For Prince William and Princess Catherine, this is simply the reality of their existence. The fences, the Section 128 orders, the armed patrols, they are not symbols of arrogance. They are the necessary walls built to hold back a chaotic world. In a life lived on the public stage, distance is the only luxury they cannot buy. So they must build it. And for now, those 6 miles of empty, silent forest are the only thing ensuring that the future of the monarchy remains safe.